I'm Daniel Fitz. Today we're going to do the rubber band paddle boat part of the energy lab. Explain what you do with the... Okay, number one, explain what you do with the boat as you play with it. You spin the motor around the rubber band to make a motor which transfers potential energy into kinetic energy. Number two, what energy happens as this toy operates in your own words. As the toy operates, it goes from potential energy, which is spinning the rubber band, to kinetic energy when it is twisting, pushing the boat forward. And as the boat pushes forward, it moves the water backwards, which is Newton's third law of motion. Number three, scientifically speaking, what forms of energy does it start out in? It starts out potential energy. Number four, scientifically speaking, what forms of energy does it turn into? Kinetic energy, as I explained in number two. Okay, number five, scientifically speaking, what forms of energy is going to stop? When it stops, it is in a rest position, but although it is in a rest position, it still has potential energy because the motion in the water can make it move, which will turn into kinetic energy. So, in my opinion, it still has potential energy. I'm going to go ahead and do number 6 and 7 on this video. Number 6, what laws of physics do these toys demonstrate? Newton's third law of motion. When you put force onto an object, it will push back the motor going forward, pushing the boat as the water moves back. Number 7, what other examples can you think of to demonstrate this law? Weightlifting, whenever you pick the weight up, you're picking it up, and as you're picking it up, your feet are pushing onto the floor. Skateboard, as you push skateboard back, it pushes you forward. You push back on the ground, it sends you forward on the skateboard. And here, let me adjust this. We have the paddle boat, the sticks, rubber band, and the motor. We'll go ahead and see if it works. What I'm going to do is twist the plastic around the rubber band pretty tight. It's pretty flimsy plastic. So we get it pretty tight like so. You want the sticks were up here so it wouldn't go in the water, so I had to modify it. Point the sticks downward, slant motion, and then we're going to stick it in the water. We'll follow it down. Slowly flipping, you can see the plastic's big enough, but you saw the first one, so it's working, so I'm pretty happy. I am Daniel Fitz, and today we are going to do lab number 4, which is what is energy. I'll make 2 videos, one of the bouncy ball, one of the boat, as you can see. Let me go ahead and start off the activity sheet. Explain what you do with the ball as you bounce it. Pretty much all you do is bounce it. You're playing with it pretty much, but there's more to that than just playing with it. You're actually transferring energy as you bounce the ball. So number 1 is pretty much explain what you do with the ball as you bounce it. You're not just playing with it. You are actually transferring different types of energy throughout the ball. Okay, number 2, what energy changes happen as the ball bounces? Well, right here, when you're holding it, it has potential energy, gravitational potential energy. Gravity and elasticity will play a major role in it. So right here, it has gravitational energy because it's going to be going down. Once you release the ball, it turns into kinetic energy. And it's going to fall. When it hits, it goes back to potential energy, elastic potential energy. And when it goes to the lowest point it can go, flattens. And it comes back up. When it's coming back up, when it's in the act of coming back up, it turns back into kinetic energy. And when it reaches the highest point, again, before it starts to fall, the highest point is, again, gravitational potential energy. And then when it comes back down, it's kinetic. So on, and so on, and so on, till it stops. So, number 3, what forms of energy does it start out in? It starts out in gravitational potential energy. And then when it hits, it turns into elastic potential energy. Number 4, what energy does it turn into? Potential, kinetic, flatten, potential, kinetic, so on. So number 4 would be it turns into kinetic energy. Number 5, scientifically speaking, what forms is the energy in when it stops? When it stops, I think it is at, my personal opinion, I think it is at rest energy, which is when it completely stops rolling. But even though it's at a rest energy, I still believe that it has potential energy, because honestly, anything can happen. Say the cat that knocked the camera over comes up, hits it. Technically, that is still potential energy. Earthquakes, just really anything in the world can make it move again. So I still think it has potential energy, not just gravitational, but any kind. But it is also at rest energy.